Stu drinking his Ensure. Is that what you're drinking? What is it? Just water? Vodka? Bourbon?
Vodka.
Vodka.
Vodka tonic.
How you doing tonight, gentlemen?
My answer is I don't have the first damn clue.
You knew that was coming.
Yeah, I knew. Let's go.
Not much.
Episode 14, and I'm wearing my shirt in honor of Stu. I think it's backward. It might be backward. It's backwards in the video.
No, it's straight up here. Jeez, grumpy, yeah.
Genius by birth.
Oh no, not by choice.
Genius by
My
birth,
mandate.
grumpy
My
by
mandate.
choice. That's for Stu. My wife got this for me quite some time ago. She thought it was funny. I don't know if it applies to me. I'm not a genius, and I'm not that grumpy, I don't think.
No, you're grumpy. No.
You're a genius
Sometimes.
in my book.
Oh, why? Why do you think I'm a genius?
Anybody that's smarter than me is a genius. So.
God. So yeah. Oh, speaking of shirts, random selection show shirts that I mentioned last week. I have a test shirt coming, and I might be able to show that next episode. Just
Nice.
I'm evaluating a shirt before I order some for you guys, and before if anyone else wants a shirt, I'll put a link somewhere, and they can order a shirt if they feel like it. But it's mainly for us to wear on the show to make us look more official, give us some uniforms to wear.
No, we're official, right?
Are you serious?
We're officially something. I don't know what, but we're official, all right. Okay, I have a long list of updates, so I'm going to let you guys do quick updates first. Stu, updates.
I finally got off my ass and went to my other computer and copied the PDFs of the Bounding Fire articles, rules clarification, whatever you want to call them. They have one on jungle. They got one on slopes. They got one on bocage. They got one on guns, which is a must read for anybody on the planet.
Is it from their modules? Some of their modules?
Some of their
put
modules.
Together?
They put some of them. They repeat them, and I thought they were somewhere to be downloaded, but I couldn't find them anywhere for like a week. So I said, "Fuck it." I just go out my other computer out 120 degrees and turn it on, transfer the files, and be done with it. So I did that last night.
You
So
serious?
I put them on my iPad so I could read them at lunch. So, but the guns one is a must read. Must read like 10 times. You can't. It gives you more information than you'll ever
what's
find
it
out
cover?
from the
Just
book.
guns in general, or
Covers
anything specific?
yeah, like how to everything about guns, how to overrun them, how to set them up, how to defend against overruns, how to turn your covered arc while you're in woods and shoot, and all the different rules that apply. It is beyond the best thing about guns ever written, period.
Yeah, cool.
Where's this?
I don't know.
On his hard drive.
It's
unofficial.
It's one of the Bounding Fire things. They'll have an article in like one of their things, I just asked Sam. I said, "Hey, Sam, can you send me some of these things? I was going to do some videos on them," and he just sent me the files. And I found them somewhere else, but I couldn't remember where I found them. But I knew I had them on my other computer. So, but the other computer.
Why don't you share them?
I could, but I'll send you the
Are
guys.
they PDFs of?
Yeah, PDFs.
Official, like out of their modules, or?
I think they're out of modules. I think obviously the jungle one, I think, is out of the jungle one.
Blood and jungle, I think.
Yeah. Drop a thing to Sam Tyson. I don't know if might be considered like a copyright magazines, or I don't know. You know how some people are.
Well,
and I don't know Sam personally, so. But I'll check them out. And I don't think there's a problem. And
maybe we can talk about it offline.
Yeah, the guns one is really good. I read that one once, like, wow, you think you know a couple rules, and there's like 20 things that, oh, okay, I know this, I know that, and how to destroy guns with like a bazooka and ATR, shit like that. You got to roll really low, of course, with everything, but but the overrunning of the guns is important because a lot of the early war have a lot of small guns, and you have a lot of fast tanks. And so your tanks can actually reach those guns instead of having like a 12 movement point, like, whatever. You might have 15 or 16 or 18 for that matter, and get to the gun and overrun it. and you got to know what the fuck's going on. And as soon as you overrun it, it's like, okay, what do I do now? So this essentially explains lots of examples, lots of good examples, lots of pictures. So it's solid, super solid.
Cool.
But that's what I was finally did.
Okay, Scott, before you do yours, I just want to mention to people, if you don't want to listen to our updates and you just want to get right to the spin, there's a timestamp. Just click on it and it'll go right to the action. Okay, go ahead, Scott.
I had a little bit of time today, so I started working on my BRT setup, Japanese setup.
And?
I didn't get real far. No,
How'd that go?
Yeah, it's a little overwhelming. Yeah, there's so much going on. It's just, yeah. As soon as it's like my brain is running on four megs of RAM. It's just like my laptop.
Did you get any Japanese counters set up on any beach or hinterland X, or just organizing? How far did you get?
I started with the pillboxes first.
Okay, so you got some stuff down.
Yeah, I got some pillboxes down, and it's a little. I mean, yeah, like I said, it's just overwhelming. I decided to just take it one beach at a time, and just slowly. I figure once I get going, and
you can move stuff around, once you get
well,
stuff
you
down.
start to figure everything out, and it all starts to make sense, and it'll go better. But yeah, at first it's pretty overwhelming.
So you've actually started spending points.
Yeah,
because you bought pillboxes and.
Well, I bought pillboxes. I bought pillboxes for one beach. I still got 4 beaches left, to go. So.
Does it give you points per beach or just overall? Okay.
Yeah. No. Green beach or the black beach, green beach, red 1, 2, 3. Yeah.
Yeah, you have like sectors, I think.
Yeah.
Defined by beach.
Divided up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, is that it?
That's it. Yeah.
Okay. Few updates. I'll try to make it quick. One is sort of a PSA, a public service announcement. The overview I did of the trials of Task Force Faith ruffled a few feathers. Not a whole lot, but a few people. Yeah, I know. So I just want to say, so my unboxings are not reviews, right? Most of the people that do unboxings on videos for games like we play, right? Hex and counter games or board games in general, maybe even computer games. Most of them haven't played those games. They just open the box and they tell you what's in the box and they give their impression of what they see in the box.
This scenario's good.
And that's what my unboxings are. They're just overviews. They're not reviews. And when I give my opinion on something, it's based on what I'm looking at right then. Like if I like something or dislike something, like how the counters are die cut, or if I really like, if a scenario looks cool, I'll say it, right? It's not a review of the whole module. And one of the exceptions was I said I didn't think the Task Force Faith was a good value, ASL value. Now that's coming purely from my perspective, not from anyone else's. I'm the one who spent the money on it, right? I'm not a big Korea war guy. I don't know much about it. It's not really in my wheelhouse. So I thought $60 felt a little steep. Now you need to also take into consideration, that's just my opinion, and you need to also take into consideration, and I had a discussion with Xavier, I'm sorry, however you pronounce his name, from LFT. He messaged me, and he kind of took a little bit of exception, but we had a discussion about it. And I said, well, value is perceived by the individual, right?
Correct.
A billionaire is going to not think $1,000 is anything. Someone who makes $15 an hour is going to think $1,000 is a lot of money. So it's perspective, right? And another thing is value used to be how much does an item cost, right? How much does this cost? Now it's how much does this item cost plus shipping of the item plus tariffs or VAT tax to come into the country. That is now That's not trivial anymore, right? So you got the value of a thing is not just how much this individual thing costs; it's how much it costs to come into my delivered to my home, and it's not cheap anymore. Case in point, I think I mentioned this in the last video or show. Broken Ground Designs Brickworks map, $30. Shipped to me,
right.
it cost $30. No, I didn't order. I was going to until I added it to the shopping cart, and I said, it's not value for me because it costs too much. That's all I'm saying. I didn't say Task Force Faith is a terrible module. It looks like a great module. It's just I just thought for me, for what I like in ASL Korea, I didn't think it was a good value for me. And anyway, that's just a PSA on my overview unboxings. They're not reviews. I already mentioned the shirts. The pocket rulebook and the charts, they're back in stock. So all you people who have been waiting for the ASL rulebook, you can actually buy it now. The bundle's in stock. So charts, what? Are you serious? Chapter H and the rulebook, you can actually buy it. Yeah, you can. I'm serious. One other thing is I noticed that the HASL print version, you can buy the physical copy of it now. And this gets back to my previous point. It's $75. And shipping to me in the US is 20 something. So it's almost $100 to my door. 20? That's how this stuff impacts value to people. It's getting so that I want to get something, but how much it costs to get it to me is getting kind of ridiculous.
Yeah.
Almost $100 for that thing. Okay. That was it for some of those were kind of like little rants. One more fun thing. So in my critical hit bundle overview video I did yesterday or the day before, it's got Omaha East and West that I talk about. Some guy sent me a couple pictures that he played Omaha East and West. Let me put it up here.
Uh-oh.
Okay. So he sent me pictures. He said he had the Omaha East and West Monster Edition, the big version, and he mounted it on magnetic or metal plates using magnets on his wall, as you can see here. And it measures, he said, 16 feet wide by 5 or 6 feet tall.
16 feet?
Are you serious?
You can't even play, and I think I mentioned this in the video, you can't even play these editions of Critical Hit on an actual table. They're not even playable. So I don't even.
That's the monster map, though, right? That's the bigger hexes.
It's the bigger hexes. Yeah, it just makes it. It's.
I don't know why you would print that because the other one's just unwieldy anyway. And now you're gonna make it map bigger.
The regular version
is too big.
Well, one side. This is both East and West. One side will fit on a table, the regular size version, but the monster, no. And then he said he started playing it using magnetic counter holders, and he sent me a picture of it. And I'm like, wow, that's hardcore. That's hardcore. That's crazy. He said he didn't finish it though. He said he had a flood and I don't know if I got damaged. You got to take it down.
Oh no!
He never. Yeah. So anyway, I thought those pictures are cool. I thought I'd end with that instead of my little mini rants about how much things cost these days, which is
no. When people are watching your videos and any review videos, I mean, come on, seriously. I mean, it's not like
it's not a review; it's an overview.
An overview, a review, unboxing, unbagging. It's an opinion. They're all opinions. Yeah. I mean, has anyone gone to Desperation Morale and read Mark's ranting on some of the stuff? They're all his opinions, and
he hates Critical Hit, man.
Man. He despises it. He despises it, and in some instances for good reason. But on other ones that I've read about, he says, hey, this is actually not a bad deal. And one of the big things that he mentions is price.
Yeah,
that's
price. A big thing. Yeah.
And he says, why buy this for $70 when it's just a rehash of one you can get for $20 used, and so and that's a real thing, and I'm with you. We just discussed the Chef DuPont being a decent price 6 scenarios, one little campaign. I think it was 6 scenarios, and a little map for a little wrap thing. $30, whatever the case may be. And then this is, I'm not sure how many scenarios it has, but take into account that it's Korean
11 scenarios.
1 out of 50 people might play Korean. So it's really not a hot topic. It's not like another Stalingrad freaking module or prophylactic module or something.
Well, Xavier made a good point that for him to get Chef DuPont in France, I think, would cost some amount. He said what it was, I forget. Much more, right, to get it over there. And I'm said that, but that's the point. So your value, he would probably value Chef DuPont less than I would, just because of the price delta. I think because it's US, it was cheap. I thought it was a great value, and vice versa. Getting Task Force Faith, Korean, even the Korean part aside, $60 over here for a map and 11 scenarios. Maybe not such a great value. Now, if I was living in France and could buy it for, I don't know, $45 or $40, yeah, maybe it's a great value. But that's all I'm trying to say is,
but
shit's getting expensive.
For someone to complain, it's like, I'm not so sure. I still don't understand how, like, again, we discussed this previously, how some of the guys like in New Zealand, Australia, pay more for shipping than they do for the item. It's like that's got to be dedication or just sheer crack.
Well, I mean, that's why MMP was trying to move their printing overseas, was because the price of games they know how high they are. But they're trying to reduce the price. But
I mean, I just looked at the prices of some of the Bounty Fire stuff. It's like $150 for some of these modules, and like Rising Sun, I think, is the most expensive ASL module. It might be up to $200 now, and you got to pay like $75 shipping. Maybe that's $300. I mean, that's and that's not even by itself. It's not like an SK kit where you can just whip it out and play it. You need 15 other modules. So,
I'm glad I have everything.
That's why I don't. That's why I don't really. I quit buying third-party stuff. It's just between MMP's ASL stuff and other games. I mean, the last 5 to 10 years, just spent thousands of dollars on games. It's like getting to a point where, God, do I really need any more games? I don't know.
Right. And the only reason I buy some of this stuff is because, I have channel supporters. You are 2 of them. I don't know why. You are $3 members, and I get a little money, and so I can buy things like this and do overviews, so I can show people what's in it before they buy it. That's all it is.
What about that that vacation cabin you said you were going to give me in Sun Valley?
Remember? Oh yeah, it's being framed right now. Don't worry, it's coming.
Okay,
it's coming.
All right.
Did you get that $1,500 check I sent last week?
No, but I'll look for it. I'll look for it. Yeah. Okay. That's enough of that.
I think I got a thank you note from Amy.
What?
Someone must have got it.
She'll go buy more scrapbooking.
Exactly. You've seen your scrapbooking stuff on the shelf. Say, oh yeah, good check him.
You should. Okay. You guys think I have a lot of ASL stuff, which I do. You should see her scrapbooking office. Oh my God.
Oh yeah.
I keep saying your room's. It's on the 2nd floor. It's gonna like collapse.
Yeah.
That side of the house is just gonna fall. Jesus. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. That's pretty cool. But it's okay. You get your little closet of ASL.
Yeah, I have like a big book. I mean, I have this bookshelf, but I have some more stuff upstairs. But she's got a whole room of scrapbooking stuff, just wall to wall. All right.
And probably. Yeah.
You ready to?
Yes, do it.
Spin it. Spin it. Round and round.
Light this candle.
I should. Well, I could cue up Rat. Round and round, but I'd get a copyright strike, so I won't do that.
Well, round and round. Where she stops, nobody knows.
Let's do it.
I know exactly where it's going to stop. Wait, it's going to stop on critical hit this time. Guaranteed.
It might. We're warmed up.
Yeah.
Go. There we go. For listeners.
Oh,
wow.
Oh,
you just talked
interesting.
about
Clap. Clappity clap. All right. Well,
you serious?
that I added this to the wheel. That means we're gonna take like a few minute break while I
rigged.
set a thing up.
Rigged.
We are gonna. It is a little bit bigger than the other ones, but this is an anything goes, and we're gonna live stream. And if anyone shows up, and we can talk about anything, and if they ask questions, we can talk about whatever they ask. We'll do that. So let's take a couple minute break. I'll get the thing fired up. Then I need to get fired up, and we'll start live streaming. Okay.
Nice.
All right. We are live. If anyone's watching or anyone watches, ask questions. Tonight is anything goes. We spun the wheel. I added live stream, which means I hit the live stream button, and 10, 20 minutes later, it actually live streams, and now we can talk about anything ASL. God, sorry guys.
Oh, it's just like a live stream and anything goes. So anything
Yes.
goes
Well,
in the same category.
Well, you could spin it again and pull up another topic we could talk about.
Yeah.
Okay. Do you want to do anything goes?
Oh, well, you just live stream, and if it hits it again, then it's anything goes.
If I hit live stream again, I hit stop live streaming.
There you go. Yeah.
No. Do you want to just spin it again?
Yeah, just spin it again. Yeah.
Well, now I got to put the timer back up. Where's the timer? Okay, let me spin it again, and we'll run it off a timer. Okay.
Yep. Now it'll drop on CH.
Yeah. Yeah, because before we started, we were talking about critical hit. It'll probably land on critical hit. Tonight we've got HASL size.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, good one.
A good one.
Oh yeah, bitches. Let's go, bitches.
And if anyone in the live stream, since we're doing this impromptu, which might happen from time to time, if you want to have questions or comments about HASLs, feel free. Let's see who goes first.
Scott, guaranteed.
Guaranteed.
2 in a row, baby. 2 in a row.
Guaranteed.
Oh, Neal.
God damn.
Yeah, hell yeah,
Why
bitches.
It's like always me. Always me.
You serious?
I think I've got dual audio running. Hold on. Nope. Okay. HASL size. Yeah. Or what I would call HASL creep lately. I just turned 60. God damn, I'm old. And for all of us, the amount of time we have to play ASL is dwindling, right? I say this as Scott and I are about to start Bloodreef Tarawa. But some of I used to think big HASLs were epic, and they are, but there's such a time commitment that I am somewhat turned off by big HASLs anymore. And this kind of goes back to the updates where I'm talking about my personal preference. Just because I say big HASLs aren't attractive to me does not mean I think big HASLs suck. Okay, a lot of them look great. Some of the stuff from Advancing Fire looks epic and just huge in scope, but from a time management point of view, they just, at this point in my life, it just seems a little unreasonable. And I'm starting to gravitate towards being more attracted to things like we mentioned it earlier, Chef DuPont's, Hatton and Flames. What was the little Sparrow Force one, which isn't necessarily a campaign game. You've played some of it, Stu.
No,
it's interlinked, kind of a large historic. I don't know not historical or not campaign game, but mini, I guess.
Right.
I am more attracted to things like that than these gigantic and, shall I say, expensive and increasingly expensive monster campaign games. That's what I mean by HASL size. I mean, it could be anything. It could be physical size, physical scope, cost, value, any of those things. So that's my initial feeling on HASL size. What do you guys think?
Me? You want me to go? Yeah, I feel pretty much the same way. I mean, I've always liked large HASLs. You know, they're just so epic. But I don't. Yeah, like these days, I don't know if I am up for playing them. I mean, it'd be nice. Yeah, I want them. Nice to have on the shelf and to look at once in a while. But their campaign games are so much work. But so yeah, I think there's a lot more value in as far as and playability in the smaller ones.
Are you feeling a bit intimidated by Tarawa?
No. I mean, it's one of the biggest ones, right? But
maybe
and
in unit density, probably one of the biggest. Yeah.
Well, yeah, not necessarily map size,
Yeah.
no. But yeah, it's no. I'm looking forward to it. I don't. It'll probably be the only one we ever play. I don't. So.
What do you mean the only one? You mean with that counter density?
Yeah, that epic of a HASL, right? I don't know how soon we'll revisit.
Yeah.
We've had this conversation for a long time. I mean,
well, there are other campaign games that are, I think, maybe bigger in scope, but less dense. You know what I mean? Like Kampfgruppe Piper is probably less dense, but it's much bigger in map, I guess, in scope. Well, I mean, the Invasion of Tara was pretty big in scope, but it's not that big of a map, really.
No, it's a small map, but the density, the unit density, and the time it takes to play it is epic. I mean, from what I've heard. So,
Stu, I bet you have a plethora of opinions on this.
Well, when I thought HASL size, I didn't know if you were directing the topic towards like maps or converting the stuff. So
forgot to start the timer yet again.
Oh,
go ahead.
Okay. So initially, like you guys were saying, the scope of the engagement. I'm just going to bring red barricades to the forefront. Is that to me something like that takes on the life of more of a miniatures type battle, and if you're into miniatures, I think that would be definitely your go-to ASL. And but for me, that's just especially since ASL has got so many little details into it, it would just slow it up to a crawl. And I would like to think that would be better suited. That size of ASL would be better suited for different scale, just upscale it or something like that. So I'm with you guys in terms of the giant ones, unless you have like 3 or 4, like 4 people playing. I was thinking about this. I was contemplating this, having 4 guys play and playing simultaneously, and so therefore it would hopefully speed it up. Yeah, I'll probably never adjust that, but like you said with the Sparrow Force and things like that, which are smaller. And when you guys are talking, I kind of thought like, with some of the remember when we played Squad Leader way back when, there were a lot of large, like 4 board scenarios, right? 4, 5, 6 board scenarios. You got to clear shit out, and it's like 10 turns. You're there all freaking day, and you're going at it, and you've got. And what I enjoyed about the Sparrow Force scenario, just the simple scenario that I played, because it was on their HASL map, and it was just a whole map. Right, it just gave you essentially the engagement, which is in the village. Most of the fighting's in the village, and I even felt on that I essentially had three regions of combat that didn't have the ability to interact with one another. And obviously, in a giant HASL, you're going to have the same thing. We're going to have the north of the map, middle part and the southern part, and they're essentially just 3 separate complete. If you just cut in the middle, take like 18 inches and just cut that out, that would be a giant game, and then the next one would be another separate game. And that's why I think, just if you could cut that up and let the people handle it, like, Armory Group South, north and middle, whatever, that you guys are playing at your speed, and when everyone's done, you're done. That way, essentially you have 3 different parts of the map moving at the same time.
That
But
I really like that idea, but the thought of trying to coordinate, 4, 6 players to consistently meet to play a campaign game sounds like a nightmare to me. But
right,
it would be really fun.
right. But but you could do that on Vassal more than you could face to face, especially
absolutely.
for me. So, but yeah, the smaller size and like I say, the Counter Circuit Drone. I played I don't know, one of my videos deals with the French and the Americans coming on, and those scenarios, those big giant ASL or SL scenarios converter or whatever, it gave me the epicness of the old squad leader scenarios, and that's what I like to get out of it. I don't really need more than that, because more is just, instead of these 8 squads holding it off or 4 squads holding it off, I have 24 squads holding it off. Big deal. It's just 85 more dice I don't need to roll, and I don't mind the smaller size for, you roll 12 and it destroyed my radio or something like that. I don't really care, because that's part of the experience, right? You're playing those big games for the experience, not for balance. And so
the big
having
ones.
HASLs, having HASLs do the same sort of thing. Essentially, the HASL map's the same size as 3 or 4 SL boards, right? Most HASL maps, Hat in Flames. I mean, that's pretty. The playing area is about that same size.
The smaller HASLs, yeah.
Yeah. And so you get that same sort of feel that you could pull out of a scenario, but you have the campaign days. Obviously, those scenarios don't have campaign game, but it adds that extra oomph. Okay, I want to keep fighting this fight, and you kind of get that, and I like them because of that. But like the big ones, I'd love to do the Omaha one again, just to do the Omaha, because it's Omaha, right?
Yeah.
So, but that would just take forever, or do a part of it. But houses by themselves, it's like you have to have a dedicated set of guys to do it, because you will be playing that a long time. And
then what happens if 1 or 2 players lose interest?
That's the problem.
Have to find a replacement or pick up their part of it,
Yeah, and then another month goes by, another 2 months goes by, and then it's especially if you're face to face, it's just kind of sitting there, and then you just kind of like looking at it. It's like, oh, I had this plan, and you're just kind of living the dream at that point, and
dies on the vine at that point.
Yeah, that's what I would think would happen. I mean, there are some groups out there that are hardcore, and it's like their bowling night, which is great. They have their ASL night, and that's definitely a huge, bonus that they have, and more power to them. At that point, and tackle the big ones, because you're the only ones that can.
The thing is, though, I mean, we're talking about HASL size, but kind of what we're discussing is more like campaign games, because no matter how big the HASL is, they pretty much all have scenarios that play on portions of the map, right?
Right. Mm-hmm. Right.
That's a great point. Yeah. Because you can still experience the historical aspect without delving into a massive campaign game.
Yeah.
Like how many Conf Group? I always come back to Conf Group Piper, and I think you do too, Scott, because it was one of the first. The first time you see that map, you're like, "Holy shit, this looks amazing and epic."
Yeah.
How many scenarios did that ship with? Do you guys know or remember?
Or 6.
Handful? Just
Yes. Yeah, 6.
That's a couple. Yeah,
right.
a couple.
So you could play through those and get the flavor of the history and the battle without doing the whole. And I kind of forget about that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I remember playing one of the old Red Barricade ones. It's at the bottom of the map because it's got the gully and it's not where all the factories are. And I don't even know the name of the scenario. Someone who's very familiar with Red Barricades would determine what it is. But I think the Illuminating Round guys have redone that one, a replay of that one. But that was a solid and fun scenario on the Red Barricades map. Again, it's sort of like what you've brought before. It's like, let's have smaller, Chef DuPont type things where we can experience historical type styles of battles on these newer maps that could be, popped out, and just experience something new. on those maps, and I think they're very successful. And like I said, it's cheap. I mean, it's cheap. Essentially, you won't even have to buy the module for that. I mean, screw the cat, especially Vassal.
Now, are you
just buy the chef DuPont?
Are you talking about what we talked about in the previous show, where
I think so.
you
We'll
have
touch on it.
You have historical mini maps maybe that reflect the actual terrain, but not necessarily a campaign game, a full-blown campaign. But you've got scenarios that reflect the battles.
Right.
Yeah,
So you could
I
have,
really
you
like
could
that
have like
idea too.
you can have like quote scenario packs, but they're on like a HASL map. Like you can
Right.
have like the red barricades, like a small chunk of the red barricades map, right? Cut one of the big ones in half, and then essentially just put the 4 scenarios that were played on that map, and you could release that thing for $30, and people will get a taste of it. Essentially, I mean, obviously the scenarios they can't do it with it now because that's essentially what they have with it. But you get 12 other maps that you don't need or may not get to or whatever. But it kind of, I think that's what they should do with the starter kit things in terms of the HASLs is take the ASL HASLs that are in existence, cut the map size down to the hot spots of whatever particular scenarios they may have, and just release shit SK wise in that sort of aspect. And that way they don't really have to redo just a scenario. You don't have, I mean, if they want to do a campaign game, fine, but they can do like a scenario pack of Pegasus Bridge, once when you're fighting around the bridge, and a couple scenarios you're fighting up the left. You don't even have to do the campaign. Just leave that part out. And but I mean, there's a number of ways you could approach something like that. And no counters. You're just doing a map, 2, 3. I mean, just necessarily reprinting the scenarios.
Joey in chat says hello. Hello, Joey.
Hey, Joey.
We talked about this before. I mean, a lot of the stuff we talk about, we kind of come back to because they're all interrelated kind of in ASL. But, Scott and I have dabbled in design, scenario design, and map design, and that kind of thing. So I think that we have an understanding of how much time it takes to do some of this stuff. And one of the biggest time sinks is playtesting. And designing the map doesn't take that long, really. Designing the scenario is probably next. Playtesting, that's where the vast majority of it is. So if you didn't have to playtest a campaign game, and we go back to just having HASL map with hotspots or just mini HASL maps with the scenarios on it, seems like the development time and development costs and the cost of production would be much lower. But a lot of people would be more inclined to play that stuff than a Blood Reef Tarawa, for example, because Tarawas and Red Barricades, etc., is a huge time commitment.
Yeah, go back on your playtesting thing about the that's one thing in my opinion. I'm not sure if there's a lot of shit out there. I playtested just a couple things, but it's all been email, nobody's face to face, stuff like that. I think that I don't know how to approach this. How do you playtest, campaign game date 1 and Red Barricades? What's the goal? What is the goal at the end? I mean, the Russians or the Germans need to get to this point, and then that's the victory conditions. And how often does that happen? At that point, it's a matter of, in a general scenario, you have like, let's just take for cookie. I don't know the numbers, but let's say 60% firepower. The offensive player must have 60% more firepower than the defensive player, for him to be able to proceed and take the casualties and get to his objective. And I'm not sure. I don't know how they do it in the campaign game days, but I would presume that sort of numerical ratio, exists on the opposite side. It's just that it's cut up in this pieces of a pie of, I'm getting 12% with this, area of 426s, and then here's my engineering guys and my Panthers coming on or whatever. You're cutting up your points and your firepower amongst those, and you're bringing them in at certain times. So, I just don't know. I think the return on investment on trying to play test some of those is difficult to do, especially now. And I don't really see the giant campaign game that haven't already been in commitment in development for 10 years is ever going to come out again. There's just no time. I mean, you see these guys, Mannerheim Cross, that's been out. Essentially, they've been doing that for 20 years. That's not let's start this last year. So the smaller households needs essentially is, if they're going to produce more material, the smaller households essentially is the product they need to produce.
We have a question from Joey. I think I saw this question on Facebook. He asks, why do some of the HASL maps come in standard hex sizes and others in large sizes? And is there a way to know in advance which a game has? Well, we can talk about it, but let me ask him the question of why that's a concern, I guess. Okay. There's no way to know without someone doing an unboxing or an overview, like I try to do to help people out to see what's in the products. But there's no reason why they have, if they don't link up and they're not connected in any way, there's no real reason for them to have a standard size. So I'm asking Joy, why does it matter if they do or don't? Oh, he says, I prefer standard hex sizes, but love HASL. Okay.
I think one of the reasons is probably because it's a smaller playing area. You know, the amount of terrain is smaller, so they can use bigger hexes, which is just helps with counter density.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's probably counter density like red barricades, right? I mean, those are 1inch hexes, but what's the Somme Église?
Hmm.
Those are standard size.
I think they are. Yeah, that's
not
a very dense fight though, and it's spread out quite a bit.
Yeah, and there I would see essentially the requirement for standard size, because you're not going to have the density of terrain until maybe you get into a little town or something like that, and at that point, vassalize it up to a higher, square, hex size, and you're good to go.
That's the luxury of the vassal. Well, if you have the plug or the extension, is it built in? I can't remember.
Built in now. Yeah,
I think
it's built in now.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, or if that part, just take your map, go down to Staples and photocopy it up 130%.
Yeah.
Just around the village, something like that. You can transfer it over. But yeah, I saw that on St. Mary Glees. It's like, okay, this makes sense that I don't really like the smaller ones because I like to see my terrain that's under my unit. But and that's annoying as hell. I'm sorry, but I'm always constantly looking at terrain, trying to figure out, is it going to be a 4+1 shop? 4+2 is in the open ground? Is he in a fucking orchard? Can I see past it? And if it's a regular size, you can't. You just can't.
Or if you're in a Tarawa or red barricade scenario and you've got a stack in between surrounded by all kinds of other stacks, and you want to see what that terrain is because you don't remember, you're like doing counter stack maintenance and hoping it all doesn't come crumbling down.
Right. And it's tough. It's a tough medium to mitigate.
Scott, do you have any comments?
Well, yeah, you had your critical hit bundle video, and years ago I was buying some critical hit stuff, but that's what attracted me to them, was that they had historical maps and then the scenarios to play on them, and they had stuff like Parker's Crossroad, they had Normandy stuff, PTO stuff, and it was all historical maps. And at the time I thought they were really cool maps. Some of them are, but compared, we all like the historical maps, compared to just playing a generic geo board. But that's what attracted me to those. I don't know if they had, I don't remember, I haven't looked at them forever, but I don't remember if they actually had campaign games or if they're just more or less just maps and scenarios. But
no, critical hit, as far as I know, I don't know if they've, well, they might, and I don't have it, but they're typically, They just put a monster scenario on.
Yeah.
Like the Omaha one. It's 40 turns, something like that. It's just huge. They don't do a campaign game. But
some do and some don't, right?
Critical Hit.
Yeah.
Yeah,
some don't.
there may be some campaign games. I can't think of any off the top of my head. But going back to Joey's question of different hex sizes, I think Stu is right in that it's a balancing act between the size of the geography being represented and unit density and how big the playing area can be. Because of the picture I showed at the beginning of the Omaha East and West, Critical Hit just blew up the map just to blow it up, and it's just too big. You can't even really play on it. So you have to weigh in the size of the terrain being covered, hex size, and unit density. I think that's why you see some things or some modules have a little bit different hex size for the most part. I think they try to balance that if they can.
Kind of go with the campaign. It's not necessarily a campaign thing, but I remember I got the Total Access Pack. I think it's called Total Access Pack 1 or 2 or something like that. And it has like 7 maps, but it's like on one big sheet, and it's got like they're all individualized, and they're all different sizes. But each scenario only plays on like one of those little maps, so it's kind of like a little, same theme, right? It's in the east, but there's like little themes of these different maps that you're just kind of popping around. It's like a, do your own adventure sort of thing. Scenario 1 goes over here, and then Italians or whatever. So you're just jumping around without having to set up shit. So I that's the primary reason I got it, because there are like literally 7 maps in that set. And it's like, oh, it's cool. Let's try this out.
We need to get you to play a campaign game, Stu, sometime. He just starts laughing. He's like, "No, man."
Well, see, the campaign games, technically it's like a thing. I played the Long March with Mark, and we got through most of that. I'm not sure how far we got, but we got through most of that, and that's more like, well, it's just a series of scenarios, and with dates and things like that. And I seriously fully enjoy Long March. Some of the scenarios could have been written a little bit better. I always have like lots of questions on them, and it's like, oh, let's try and go with this. It seems to be normal.
Were they interconnected? Like the result of scenario A?
No,
led to B.
But only to the point that casualties could gain you more points. Like if you completely wipe me out, you would gain more points for your side, whether you won or lost. There's casualty levels that you still have to avoid. In there, if I get them all killed, then I'm going to be losing 4 points instead of 2 points if I only got half the game. So there's that point about it, and it's about gaining points per side, and it doesn't vary too much per scenario, but it can make a difference with casualties. And then damn it, there was there's another one that had the Operation Mercor, right? The Heat of Battle. Operation Mercor's got the same sort of thing. You play. I think there's maybe one giant scenario, like you said, but there's a lot of, scenario 1 is when the gliders landed in the north part, by the airfield, and the scenario 2 there might be on the hill, 3, and you're using different portions of the map. It's a big map, but you're only using a portion of it, and it's fighting that historical battle as you're going along. And I like sort of that piece of it there, because like if you play Red Barricades and let's say you buy the wrong camp reinforcement groups and he counters you or whatever like that, I mean you're going to spend the next month and a half playing that particular day, and it's going to be a total wash, and it might cause you to quit, which we talked about that. Whereas if you chunk it out like Mercor does, like Long March does, if I lose that scenario, I don't give a shit. I can make it up on the next one, and then the next one, and the next one. It's all the same basic historical. I knew nothing about Chinese and the Long March, but there's a lot of historical And I usually never read that shit, to be honest with you, for some reason. I just want to play the game. As
You
long
just
as I
want
know
to be. You're a
kind of where
gamer.
it is. I'm a gamer. I'm number one gamer. And history is like, okay, it's all right.
What do you guys think of elements of adding elements? This is hypothetical since we're talking about HASLs. Adding elements, RPG elements to HASLs. And what I mean is giving leaders like abilities that fall within the ASL mechanics but go outside the current scope. Have them be able to do certain special things, maybe once a scenario, once a turn, whatever. Or like I've seen in some one critical hit module that I have. It's called Maxim Gorky. It's about the guns in Sevastopol that overlook the Black Sea, right?
Mm-hmm.
And in that scenario, they're up on a hill. And once you get up on the hill, once the Germans get up on the hill, there's like a big bunker complex. And the scenario has basically an indoor bunker complex with hallways and stuff. And I haven't read the rules on that, but it fascinated to me that they broke down. And this is, I don't know if it's good or bad, but it's critical hit. I thought it looked cool and interesting, but it added more of an RPG element where you take away the hexes and now you're suddenly got units basically in this giant bunker going through hallways and rooms doing things, which I thought was, what do you think of stuff like that?
I think
I like the idea of the leader campaign, right? That they used to have.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, be fun.
I think subterranean quarry kind of touches on that.
Yeah, a little bit, if I remember.
Because you have to go under in the sewer and you got to go chasing rats around.
Yeah, something like that.
That was very cool about that. I think that again, that sort of SSR edge, going on the edge, making these situations up, which is just not the old, deploy your hot squads and surround them and they break and die. And like Scott said, the leader campaign game is quite cool, quite more in depth. You're part of it, right? That could be your counter or whatever. You want your guy to succeed, and sometimes he does, sometimes he doesn't. But
go ahead.
It's a fun part of it. That's definitely role playing then. So
speaking of role playing, I was going to save this for show and tell.
Oh,
so it's going to be reversed on my screen. It's dog face. Okay, I saw a video on ASL on YouTube about it. It popped recommended, I guess. And I watched the video, and it is basically role-playing ASL.
Wow.
Huh.
The maps are all the maps are this size.
Yeah.
Very small size, very small scale. And I've thumbed through the rules. And it's he's borrowed from a lot of things, but it's highly influenced by ASL. And you control an individual leader. He's part of a squad, or maybe he can pop out and be an individual as well. I'm not quite sure. And you track him through this campaign of one of the military organizations. I forget which one it is. Anyway, when we do show and tell, I'll talk more about Dogface because I haven't fully read the rules, but it looked really interesting. So we both brought up the leadership, some sort of leadership RPG element to HASLs or ASL in general, and that reminded me of that.
All right.
So.
you could actually do the armor leader ones as well.
Yeah.
And just say, if your tank is destroyed, then, you're not dead all the time. You manage to escape it because it's all fantasy anyway. It's like a movie thing.
Mm-hmm.
Tank blows up and all the guys get out. Yeah, okay.
Well, our time is up already.
Oh, what?
So, are there any questions in chat? We have a few people watching. If you have a question real quick or something you want to talk about very shortly, post it in chat. Otherwise, we're going to wind this down because we've been going for about 30 minutes-ish or so. And that's we try to keep our time limit to 30 minutes so Scott can get his beauty sleep. He needs all he can get. So
which is odd because he doesn't show up on the screen. So.
Right. Yeah. What?
He has to go back. Yeah.
I tried to coax him into looking at a new computer. I found a $400 computer on Walmart that looks pretty good. Walmart.com.
Yeah, not bad. Not bad. That'll
16 gig, get you up and running. You're gonna need.
I want 64. I want 64 gigs.
It's gonna cost you more.
But
yeah,
just become
like
dyslexic, and at least you'll get 61.
Joey asks, what do you all think of adding more leaders to HASL games? Well, the HASL games have as many leaders as they need for the order of battle, I guess. In case of Tarawa, a lot, and most of them are going to die.
Yeah.
So, yeah, there's no need to add more leaders just for the sake of adding leaders. You've got roughly, for most nationalities, you have one leader for each platoon in general. So,
Yeah.
That's why the game is platoon leader, not squad leader. You can send hate mail to Stu for that one.
Oh, ouch.
It's too expensive. At least platoon leader's free, right? Free to download instead of 60 euros.
Well, I think you can. Oh, you're talking about critical hit?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think you could find old versions out there. I don't know if they even support it anymore. I think I have an old version of platoon leader.
Yeah.
Like version
which is funny.
3 or something. Yeah.
I find it funny that I remember reading that if you look on the nationality distinctions and characteristics, it has like the squad to leader ratios. And most scenarios throw that shit out the door. They just throw in as many leaders as they want. You know, I remember the Russians used to have like 2 leaders for like 15 squads.
Yeah.
And
it's like you had exactly, and you had to treasure your leaders. The Americans and Germans had like guys around this. So a lot of scenarios I'll look at it, there'll be like 4 Russian leaders for like 10 squads. It's like
the Finns had no leaders.
Yeah.
Get one token leader.
They just guaranteed rally. They use one die to rally these
guys. Okay. No more questions. I think Joey was here for the whole thing. All right, let's end it here.
Hi, kid.
We won't always be live. We just happen to go live tonight, which is on the wheel now. A little bit of technical difficulty, so let's end it here. Stu, good night. Scott.
Adios.
Let's fire up the lullabies for Scott, and we'll see you. This was episode 14. We'll see you on episode 15 next week. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later.
15. Take care.
That's it, man. Game over, man. Game over.
Get to the chopper!
If you like what you saw, please like, share, and subscribe. If you didn't like what you saw, thanks for watching, and let me know how I can do better. See you in the next video.